Goofy movie and extremely good. Love the first one. And the second one I enjoyed too. It's kind of off the wall, you know. And my dad, they're animated.
Switch out real quick.
Dad really was doing the embarrassing thing when that came out.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the extra pass too.
Yeah. Especially when they're talking about Gilligan's Island.
I have very little to pick up on what they actually focus on. Your movement is good, post-throwing shots. You tend to not continue that motion when you decide to throw a shot. So how I perceive it is you go move, stop and shoot. Move, stop and shoot.
Siege cannon.
Yeah. A funny thing, I call it heavy weapons, support weapons. But yeah, being able to, especially with that tools, just continue to throw as you're moving. Therefore, because when you stop and I catch it the first time, I'll observe it. The second time I'm going to capitalize on it as far as my perception goes. So I'll see, okay, when he throws, he's going to stop. And then where he stops, I justify, take into account where his hips are, because and which foot is forward, because that tells me where he can go to next if he goes at all. So I can see that, and during that time of mental deliberation, and boom, you cover the shot and move. It should be, if you have to, only for the first half of the shot, and then start getting out.
Or fluidity while striking is something I'm working on.
Practice missing?
Practice missing? Like swing, miss, and what do you do next?
Yeah. Okay. Most people, especially with those weapons, I got mine right here. 90% of the time, you will watch people go.
If they miss?
Yeah, they'll do that, and it pulls all this forward, and all this is just done. You're a static target, forget it. So when you practice moving, and I also saw you throw your hands a little bit, really good idea.
It's the extra range, it's the extra speed, it's the, I got bound up, I could just go, and now I'm fine type stuff.
Yeah, having that whole collapsing of the hands, exactly most of the things you're talking about. And when I miss, my frame stays good all the way. And it doesn't matter which way I do it. The frame misses and swings back around. And so when I'm moving, I can still keep moving. Boom. Any of my attacks continue off in that vector. I don't break momentum, though currently I'm out of shape, so I'm breaking a lot of momentum.
You can only efficiency so much.
Yeah, any place you can cheat just a couple, like a half heartbeat, take the spot. Because also, so many people think when they're used to this, right? So when you see that, people go, "Oh, I jump him." So when I miss, people go, "Oh, I jump him." I'm like, "Yes."
Because a lot of times they run.
Yes.
As opposed to keeping the shield separate.
Well, they have to. You force them into a binary choice because they have to stay there, or they have to chase you.
The people that I've had the most struggle with are the people that will move me down, not run me down. Like they go and they want to get about here, kind of like this short, flat, snappy range, because they have all the advantages of their sword and shield. I have to move big for any blocks, but I don't have my big swoopy stuff that I might be able to do.
I have another alternative if you're willing to hear it.
I will listen.
Okay, so when you're this close, right, and people will say trying to throw wraps and stuff like that, right, you have to do this heavy moving stuff, right? So check this out, do it again.
That is what I've been told to do, and I'm getting better at doing it. But it's like
But don't stop here. Yeah. In truth, it happens. It goes boom.
Follow the sword back.
Yeah, just come. Yeah, well, that's it. That's the easiest option after that point. But because when you turn, you're defeating everything. Now, if it turns into a wrap, then you can cheat it over. Otherwise, it just bounces right into that, and that happens at any range. So, I mean, what I do is, if you notice how it's facing your dominant side, whatever hand you had forward,
get rid of it. It's not so bad. It's like you're stuck with
because from here, at any shot you throw, if you throw it this way, I have to step this way. Not the biggest of deals, and it's at range.
Something I noticed right off the bat is
It stayed level.
fouled up any thrusting line I had with with your strength. A lot of people will put their shield in the way of thrusting in, but they don't really follow it out to where it's like, if I thrusted versus, I still have a thrust to I can use it as a jab. I don't really have a thrust when you set yourself up, because it's like, oh, I hit the weapon and I'm one in. Not being able to use a skill set makes it hurts so good.
The other thing that helps is, I don't know if you noticed or not, but when we were moving around, I was consistently keeping you moving. I mean, I didn't want you to move, I wanted to circle you, but the other option was to continue moving, and you did, right in the same way, which kept you equidistant from me, so I just had to work a little harder, and then cheat range a little bit more to get in.
I thought you were trying to stay at, like, I call it like the +4, like 4 inches past, 4 inches past my thrust could go. So if my thrust goes to here, you're staying like 4 inches back, because I thought you were going to set it up for thrust, and then be in.
I was looking for a thrust. Yeah, I mean, because my weapon stayed largely static, right in front of you. I was like, okay, because you have to address my weapon in some fashion. So either if you were going to beat it, what have you, because at that point, I was just going to choke it and then have leverage advantage, and know where your weapon was, so I could be on top of what's going on and controlling the weight, so I can dictate what my distance should have been. My big mistake is that I kept on walking directly into you. And I was like, oh, okay, and which allowed you a greater opportunity of shots to throw. And I paid for a couple of those. So.
Thank you for the passes.
Yeah.
I'll read the notes you have there.
Yeah, it basically just says you're looking good, and focus on throwing shots that in motion. If nothing else, practice missing. Missing is the one thing people don't practice.
5 of them.
I'll take
I have 7. I'll give you 5 of them for it.
That'll get it.
I'll go 5 of them and 1 of Gunther's. Nice.
I can tell that there's a couple times when you were a little like, oh, if I throw a shot on like a volleyball, I will never, ever go out there. Special offer. There's a time where I tried to roll it out last second. He's coming in, that's going to hurt. So, like, I can see kind of go. You did this like really like thing. It wasn't so much definitely like you visibly.
I just sort of heal and then
relax. And once that
I don't need to have.
You were firing. And you were hitting the angle.
I had a lot of advice on this the other day.
Everyone wants to fire here. Now, it hurts now.
Before it hurt.
So I would say only this thing
helpful, so
that took a lot.
so I was a little bit more aware of the left and you catch over here. And also your shots coming from
It's irresponsible for me to attempt to win it.
not being one of those who goes to the
I've put metal fishing rod I put. There's no leather, there's no, that's just the retain.